Welcome, the War Team of Light is back with another epic video. Hi, my name's PBE, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Peeps. We're finally doing it. We are reviewing Endwalker, Tears Walker, Depression Walker, whatever you want to call it. As you can possibly imagine, this is going to be spoiler central. If you haven't played Endwalker, this is the one to skip, or at least save for later, but really, spoiler central. If you're cool with that though, hit the subscribe button, obviously, and we're gonna jump into it right now. So, Endwalker is exactly that. The end. Like, it's the end of the damn game. So, Endwalker is exactly that. The end. It's the end of a series. It's the end of a 10-year long game. So because of that, you'll see it go back and forth and try to tie up some loose ends that we've created again in 10 years. Because of that, it does seem a little bit disjointed. The beginning of the expansion and the end of the expansion are two different fucking games. I said it. So at the beginning, we're dealing with the Telepharoids and Asians. And then you've got Garlemald, which, what the fuck? Garlemald is like its own thing, all on its own. So to me, Endwalker really starts after you've killed Zodiark. You know what's interesting? What would have happened if the storyboarding was a little different? Except Charlatan. What happens if everything we've seen up to the Zodiark kill would have been in 5.6 or 5.5? Just saying, you could have done that and we wouldn't have been able to tell the difference, because to me, Endwalker starts at the death of Zodiark. What Final Fantasy as a series does best is character growth. Final Fantasy XIV is just the master class of it. Just saying. I mean, think about it. You've got Urianger finally growing past grief with Moonbreeda's parents. You've got Estienne growing as a person to a point where he is helping dragons because he feels it's right. Emmett Silk. Just all of Emmett Silk. You've got Fulchano, or Crotchano if you've been part of my streams, which you totally should, by the way. But Fulchano as a father who gave literally everything up, including his children, to try to save the damn world. Even Ensinger had this amazing growth in just a short period of time at the middle part of an expansion. Christ, even Xenos, storyless, bad guyist Xenos had some incredible character growth. And it wasn't just him going further into the Avril Lavigne aesthetic. It is absolutely amazing to watch our characters from when we first met them go through this stuff. And yes, with all the tying of the loose ends, we see how their characters become. For the better or for the worst, it's a ride. And Final Fantasy XIV, especially Endwalker, nails it. Fuck, even the role quests have growth. This story has some incredibly sad, tearful moments. 18 according to my counter for me, but it also does emotion generally well. You really feel what your character's feeling. Like, you walk into the Zodiark fight feeling badass. You're solving a problem. About that. And then when you realize you done fucked up and you just literally caused the end of the world, shit. And you feel that pit of your stomach of the absolute joy of meeting Emmett Selk and Venat. Those are moments that you can't recreate. I don't know about you guys, but I had a smile plastered on my face when I heard him, when I seen him, every little cranky thing he would say, and then seeing Venat in the little field, and it also goes in the opposite sense. Look at Garlemald. You cannot tell me that Garlemald did not feel eerie walking in, let alone the radio, let alone all the crap that we dealt with over there. It was eerie as hell, step one into the zone. So they really know how to make you feel something. And of course the masterclass is Ultima Thule. The music, what the fuck, Soken? That was mean. That was absolutely mean. Where the music is slowly deciphered as you keep going into the zone. What was that? And going through the Ultima Thule quest where you lose each of your scions at the very end when the music dies and you are by yourself. I even said it on stream. I feel alone. And the name of the quest on the top is You're Not Alone. What a moment. They nail every single emotion that they're trying for. This is incredibly immersive. You are part of that world. Everything feels so damn real. There are a couple missteps though, and I mean this is subjective, obviously. Listen, most of this video is subjective anyway, but two moments where I would argue there was some missteps. One, Garlemald. The moment when a certain individual can't accept defeat and can't accept his fate amongst Eorzeans, which I understand, and he chooses a very permanent decision, that moment, you know which one I'm talking about. We're not going to get demonetized today, but I think that moment was a little too much. I know. And I know these types of things affect people differently. I personally wasn't a whole lot of triggered by it, so it was okay. And I understand that the character needed that ending because that's what propaganda does. You've spent a lifetime living on this side, watching your brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers die to this war. You're being told every day that this is why you're going through the misery you are. I mean, look, we're dealing with the real world example of what propaganda looks like today with a certain European country. The biggest one. So I really feel that the ending is justified. I really do. I have no problem with how it ended. My issue here is just the visuals of it. I think less is more. I really think less is more. I think the flag was important. I think the weapon was important. Not a whole lot in between that would have been important, right? Because I think the symbolism would have been stronger should the flag have been shown after the weapon or even after picking up the weapon. Nothing else was needed. Maybe some music, the radio in the background would have fucking nailed it. Just silence in the radio. Or a moment of silence in the radio. And the next mistake, I know this is like treacherous territory, but we're going there. Ultima Thule. I think they went a little too far with the music. Hear me out. It's good. Soken, it's really good. Like I just told you, they nailed it. Why is it a mistake? Well, to me, the zone needs two musics. To me, you should have a music for the regular zone, and when you reach the top platform, I think that's the music that should play. Why? Because the ending's emotional. The ending's incredible. The ending is chef's kiss. The problem is when you go back. Oh, well, I'm going to do a fate. Oh, well, did I forget that quest? Maybe the Aether Current. And the music hits you again, and you're like, what? I have to admit, I avoid Ultima Thule because I don't want to go. It hurts. It really, you still feel it. And I think a change of music for the regular zone would have been a better choice, especially where it's dealing with such heavy subject matter. Just a thought. Nothing huge, but little misstep maybe? Really, gameplay wise, this is Final Fantasy XIV. I think they really polished everything off. Come Shadowbringers, not a whole lot has changed. Two things, actually. Two. One, the duties, the dungeons, the trials, the little raids. What the fuck? They amped it to 11. That first dungeon was brutal. You know, I'm not mad. It's alright. on the whole of the situation, you've been playing this game for 10 years. Or you've, like me, have done 6 expansions worth in a year. You know how to play the game. You do. So having that difficulty level, I think, is not wrong. I thought it was kind of fun. But yeah, y'all made me invent new swear words. Which is okay, I guess. Like Zodiac? What the fuck was Zodiac? What the fuck was Zodiac? Like in the funnest way. When it starts to get like Elden Ring type hard, that's where you're gonna see me like, nope, we're good. We're good. Thank you. No thank you. Bye-bye now. But this wasn't it. It was the right level of difficulty, but definitely a little kick in the pants of, oh, okay. Y'all making me heal through this. And number 2, this is Thancred. Fuck those sneaky quests. Fuck all of them. They can go straight to hell. Every single one where you were required to eat. No. Final Fantasy XIV, I think you realized that one was a mistake. And I know that there was some player feedback on it. It killed some really important, huge moment. Like Garlemald would have been so much better without the This is Thancred scene. The memes are great, but really, Garlemald would have been next level. They were bad. I'm sorry, they were just bad. Now, I cannot make this video without making a special section to fucking Elpis. Elpis was perfection. From the moment you walk in to meeting your friends and then the big awestruck moment of the beauty and the perfection of what Elpis is. Perfection is a word I'm going to use here, not just because I think the tone was great, I think the story was great, I think the look was great, I think it's all great, but it was meant to be perfect. It was meant to be where creation is. So it was meant to be this immense beauty, and they nailed it. They straight up nailed it. It was absolutely insanely good. Like seeing Venat in that moment, the Elpis flowers, Median, and every moment you're with them, even when it gets dark and spoopy, and it gets fucking spoopy. But it's good. It's really good. I honestly believe that Elpis is my favorite zone of any game right now. And honestly, that's hard. That's really hard for me. There's still a couple things that I was hanging on to Warcraft for. The Jade Forest was my favorite zone, period, end point, until I've been through Elpis. Elpis is the only zone that I've wanted to rush through because one, the story was fucking incredible. But then go back because Elpis is fucking incredible. And I cannot believe what Elpis was. In the end, Endwalker is better than any expansion I've ever played outside of Final Fantasy XIV. If, ands, buts, maybes. It is an incredible story with an incredible conclusion to this absolutely wonderful storytelling series, MMORPG. RPG MMO? I do feel that there are 2 types of players though, and 2 different mindsets to it. One, there's the player that's been playing for a long time, that this is the conclusion of the expansions that they played through slowly. The player that's been playing for 5, 10, longer. I think they appreciated Endwalker as absolute perfection. And there's nothing wrong with that. Enjoy it. I also think there's another group of players, myself is in that pile, who came on a little late and played it through. I wasn't done MSQ Shadowbringers when Endwalker dropped. So if that gives you any insight. For me, the player that played it through from day one, or even Stormblood, Heavensward, whatever, would have enjoyed it a little more than I did. And I want to be frank here. Like, this is splitting hairs. This is not me saying Endwalker's kind of shit. Absolutely not. Endwalker is an experience. Every gamer should go through it. Was it better than Shadowbringers? To me, no. And I'm sorry that might hurt. But to me, the story of Emet Selk in Shadowbringers absolutely stuck with me a little harder. And that's okay as well. You can totally have two things that are like doo-doo at the top of the list and one that's just eat. It's totally fine. You can totally have that. Two things can be great and one thing in your mind can be better. And that's what I feel about Endwalker. Was it absolutely incredible? Yes. Was it my number one? No, but holy shit, it's grazing it. I can't wait to see the patches of Endwalker now. Imagine where the story goes, how they pick it up. That might push this even above Shadowbringers, depending on how the patches go, because you went from Endsinger to going adventuring again. I cannot wait to see how that plays out. How the fuck do you guys do it, Final Fantasy XIV? All I can say is they've nailed everything so far, so I have no reason to believe they can't do it. Alright, what was your thoughts of Endwalker? And please keep it clean in the comments. I know some people may get heated. Some people may have strong opinions, and that's okay. We're all passionate about this game, and that's what's important. In the meantime, though, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for hanging around with me. Thanks for watching me going through Endwalker. And honestly, I can't wait to see you guys again on the next one. Bye. My favorite characters of both expansions is Emet Silk and Soken. Maybe I'm a